It's important for you to understand the difference between prescribed grazing and the old habits farmers have used in continuous grazing. What's different is the deliberate action you take to control when and where your animals graze.
Prescribed grazing prevents selective grazing by moving animals through the different paddocks so that they don't stay on one paddock and graze just the species they like to eat.
With prescribed grazing, you'll need to pay special attention to what's called the intensity of grazing. This is the amount of the forage plant you allow your animals to eat, or how much of the plant is left standing before you remove them from the paddock. Maybe the easiest way to understand grazing intensity is by talking about start and stop heights. Every forage plant passes through different growth periods. During these periods, the rate of plant growth and the plant's nutritional content changes. This means that the timing of your animal's grazing is very important. As a rule, older plants are lower in quality or nutritional value than younger ones. A plant's start height is the height at which it's best to begin grazing that plant. A plant's start height is the height above which the plant's growth rate will slow down and the plant's material begins to lose quality and become less digestible. It's vital that you don't wait too long to begin grazing rapidly growing pasture plants. The progression from high-quality green leaves to low-quality stems and dead leaves will occur quickly during peak growth periods. It's very important for animals to stop grazing any forage before they damage growth areas at the base of the plants. If livestock continue to graze a plant below the stop height, the plant will take much longer to regrow because the energy to regrow will have to come from the roots and plant bases rather than from sunlight. Grazing below the stop height reduces root health and causes the plant to become less drought tolerant. Start and stop heights will vary according to the forage species. You can find the correct heights for most of the common forage plants in NRCS Standard number 528, which is available from your local NRCS office or on the web. The amount of time your animals are allowed to graze a paddock is called the duration of grazing. You can think of this as the amount of time it takes for animals to harvest a forage from its start height to its stop height. The longer animals remain in a paddock, the more likely it is that forage will be damaged by overgrazing or trampling, and fouled by urine and manure. Short paddock grazing periods help limit damage to your plants.
In prescribed grazing, what you're trying to do is keep animals in a paddock the shortest period of time, but in a long rotation. So your rotation may be 30 days, but they only may graze an individual paddock 2 days.
After the stop height is reached for a particular paddock, you'll begin a rest period.
Resting your pastures allows your sod or your grass to maintain deep, healthy roots, but it also allows it to grow the maximum amount of forage it can produce in a season.
The rest period also gives nutrient-rich urine and manure time to break down and feed the plant. Get in touch with an NRCS representative today. The Natural Resources Conservation Service, helping people help the land.